Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's February 24th, 2026, regular meeting, Commissioners Court, Liberty County, Texas. Let the record show that all the commissioners present this morning. We do have business before the court, so we will call this meeting to order. First things first, Lee, if you'd lead us in the pledges, and Sheriff, you'll lead us in the invocation, please, sir.
Please face the American flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please face the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Pray with me, please. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we want to thank you for this day you've given us, this beautiful day, Lord, to come together and have a meeting here at Commissioners Court. Lord, I pray that you give the commissioners, as they go through this meeting, Lord, and discuss the issues here that are before them on the agenda that affect the county here, Lord. Lord, I thank you for their dedication. Lord, I thank you for the elected officials. I thank you, Lord, for those that are running for office, Lord. And I just pray, Lord, that they just clean up some of this stuff instead of throwing mud and everything else at everybody. Lord.
Amen.
Lord, I'm glad that I have a lot of local races that are saved, I will say civil, Lord, going through there, Lord. Lord, I pray a blessing on all the county employees and all the visitors that are here this morning, Lord. Bless us all. Lord, please forgive us when we fall short. In your son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Speaking of the Texas flag, I believe it was yesterday, was the 190 years ago. That's when the siege of the Alamo began. Yeah. So it was 13 days. Could you imagine being outnumbered for 13 days? That'd been rough. All righty. Public comment. I don't believe anybody showed up. So no public comment this morning. Declare conflicts of interest. Anybody have anything they need to declare? Everybody good? Okay. All right, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Has everybody had the opportunity to look over the consent agenda? There's one item I need to, nope, that's on the regular agenda. So on the consent agenda, do we have any add-ons, Dwayne, anything? Ms. Harris, nothing? Okay. Okay. Got a motion from Bruce. Second from David. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Regular agenda, first item up, is report from the sheriff on the continuing repairs at the Liberty County Jail. And again, at the end of this, I just ask you for a motion, a second to accept, and we'll vote on that.
Thank you, Judge. This is our weekly maintenance report. Our fire restoration, the firework in the West Hall is substantially complete. The only thing we're waiting on is the two doors that have been ordered. The window was replaced last week, so we're just up to the two doors when they come in. The HVAC system, the restoration work in the West Hall has been completed. It's fully operational. FHP's people are working with Mr. Green here on the exhaust fans to get them whatever needs to be done, either replacement or repaired. Our camera system, the Digi Security's completed phase 1 of the upgrade camera system. Approximately 70 cameras were installed throughout the West Hall. Bookend, West Hall, Recreation Yard, the jail lobby and exterior perimeter have been installed with cameras, and workstations are set up with the monitors in the master control and east control in the captain's office. All of the cameras are fully operational.
Wow.
Our expanded metal installation is all complete in the West Hall. And that includes the full ceiling and encasement of the 4 dormitories. The angle iron installation in all 4 dorms is done to reinforce, and plus they have some additional long boats for more increased structural stability. The locks and cylinder replacement throughout the West Hall to ensure the proper for the hall have been done. Total of 48 locks were replaced facility-wise. The new locks, the new cylinders for these locks have been ordered, and they're supposed to be there about the middle of April, I believe, to get them all finished. Our intercoms, the intercom work is not included in this scope that we're working on yet, and Syndaptic, the next visit will be in April, and they'll address that. The fire alarm system, there are people here to talk, and I'm not going to step on her toes this morning on item number 16. They'll do that. Our maintenance crew, installation of all the light fixtures in dorms 1 through 4 will be completed this week. The final inspection of the angle iron and the 4 dorms has been done. As I mentioned, they're still continuing to paint. They're still continuing to repair all the things that the inmates are tearing up, and the laundry room dryer has been repaired. The fan was out, so they replaced the motor. They're still working on some plumbing too, but that's my report, Judge.
95. Thank you, Sheriff.
How are we doing, Sheriff, on our budget?
On our budget,
Yes, sir.
that I would say we're within the budget.
And we,
To my knowledge, there was a certain amount set aside, but I don't keep up with it as closely as I think this.
I would say we're still in our budget.
Yes. Some items came in, I believe, considerably less.
From the past experience, if you asked that question, I would not have time to answer it. Mr. Dwayne would,
I'm ready to accept Sheriff Rose's report.
Second.
Motion from Greg, second from Bruce to accept.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye. Likewise, nays. That motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. I noticed that our Red Cross friends are here today.
Good morning.
Good morning. Why don't y'all ease up here just for a minute before we get any further into this agenda? Let me-
For the whole team up here?
Yes, sir. I'd like to see the whole team. We're going to get to put some names with a face. Andy, if you'd come up, please. And yeah. Yeah, it is regular hours there. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Better recognize you in the daytime.
You know, it every time we have something that just really happens around here, the Red Cross comes and helps us. And they've been very, very, very attentive on getting here in a hurry, even if it's maybe a flood or some other type of crisis and unplanned. Yeah, we can't thank y'all enough for how quick you get here and how well you serve the public. And it just want to let y'all know. And then the last one, we've had some fires. Andy, you want to tell us a little bit about these? And
Last Tuesday night, as many have seen in the news, Dayton Volunteer Fire Department ended up at a fire at Omni Recycling Center. And it turned out that it was going to be a very long-term event. It lasted till 4 o'clock the next day. It was 24 hours. About midnight, reached out to the Red Cross, and they were able to respond within, I think, the first 2 got there, within an hour? With all kinds of a buffet for the firefighters, for rehab, fruits, vegetables, drinks.
Coffee.
I was gonna say the most important thing was the big 40-cup coffee pot that we did 7 rounds through. That was the most popular thing, but I was amazed at the apples, bananas, oranges, chips, and I'm not sure what else, Gatorade, water. And then within another hour, a van pulled up with 200 hot taquitos from Whataburger. You want to see a fireman smile? At 1:30 in the morning with fresh hot taquitos. And then about 7 a.m., they showed back up with another 200 tacos and burritos from another Mexican restaurant here. Where did you get those? Because they were popular.
The max, right, there was about 2 miles from 90.
Okay.
The max tackle.
Max Taco?
They
Okay.
actually had people coming up 1 morning to get everything ready for you guys.
That's how pre-planned they are with what they do to help out.
Yeah.
And the, just having that rehab there for the firefighters, the drinks and the food and nourishment so they can keep going is very much appreciated, beyond words. So I just wanted to say thank you, and we get y'all some recognition for coming out at spur of the moment, because correct me if I'm wrong, I heard you tell me y'all were in Nacogdoches
Right.
and had to go to Houston to get the van, and then come back out to Dayton with the food.
Correct.
Within 2 hours. So I'm not writing any tickets. We're just grateful beyond words that y'all were able to show up and that you did, and in the magnitude and manner that you did, is very much appreciated by everybody there. So thank you very much.
Definitely was. Thank y'all.
So, for everybody, over 90% of the workforce for the Red Cross is volunteers. There's only 2 paid staff in Liberty County for the Red Cross. I'm one of those paid staff. But the guys here, they're the volunteers. They're the ones that make everything happen. They're the ones that, give up their time to come and help out the community, and not just with the fire, but any home fires. We have done 23 home fires this year here in Liberty County that we're being able to go out and assist the residents of the county.
3 in the last week.
Yeah, 3 in the last week. Got another one this morning.
Another
one this morning. That's where we came from. But I wanted to bring them because they don't usually get to see this part of it, right? They get to see the part where, hey, we gotta go work, we gotta go do something, and then go back. Jose, Socorro, we were at an event in Nacogdoches distributing food out. We got the call when we were on the way here. They mobilized, went to Houston to pick up the vehicle, loaded all out. They loaded everything up over there, and then met us over here. They stayed here the whole night with us, and then they went to work in the morning. And when they finished their shift, they went to one of the fires here also to assist one of the fires. And this is all, because they want to help, because they want to connect to the community. And they don't always get to see when we go to the courts and we get the proclamations. I get to do that. I get to receive the awards, but they don't see that the community does appreciate what they do. So, my hats off to them. They're always here. They're always ready to help. So I'm very happy that we're here. I want to thank you for inviting us. This is important for them also, and for you guys to know that we're here. You might not see us all the time, but we're here. I mean, if anything happens, we get the calls from Mr. AJ. He calls us, and we do as much as we can. But thank you for having us, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You bet. I usually stay in contact with I guess it's the Lufkin office, and yep, we have our usual emails we send back and forth whenever there's something going on, but it's usually about 12 or 13 county judges that are all in contact at the same time. It works real well. So we know where you are, and when you're here, we're really, really happy. So thank you so much for all y'all do, fellas. Really, sincerely.
So
Thank you
I would
again.
just like to add, I met Fernando in the middle of the night, last Tuesday night. It was pretty much, it was my very first county event that needed the Red Cross and all the volunteers from all the fire departments across the area. And I really don't know how it would have gone had they not shown up with all that food and drinks and things, because those firefighters were rotating in and out and kind of going through a recovery process. But part of that is recarb loading. Mm-hmm. And when you set up a food truck right in the middle and there's people, it was very much appreciated. And they went through the line and they ate a lot of Whataburger tacos while I was out there. But I'm sure there was something else later in the day. So we're going to be doing a lessons learned on that event. And that's certainly going to be one of the highlights, and to make sure that we replicate that in the future when we have it. I met Fernando. He told me he was the only paid employee from the Red Cross that night. And there were other people, and there were folks there that I believe that were not here today.
Yeah. So most of them, a couple of them here, they were not here on site, but they were helping.
They were in the background. So that's just as important to supporting an event as what it takes to make it happen. So again, I was very impressed, and thank you for all your hard work and your volunteerism, because we had the same thing with all those firefighters. Some were having to peel off to make a shift change at 4 a.m. and they were leaving just ahead of that so they could get home in time to go to work on on the ship channel somewhere. So again, I didn't realize all of you had the same constraints in your lives. So thank you very much. I know it made for a long day the next day.
Just to put it in perspective, we had over 100 firefighters from 15 fire departments, and nobody went without. And there was a little left over at the end, so they were well prepared to handle, knowing that we had over 100 firefighters out there.
Yeah.
Handling the situation.
Yeah, and then the extra food, snacks, water, everything else, that we went to a couple different homeless shelters and we delivered that.
And then you had another fire in Houston, the plastics plant, Wednesday afternoon after they left Omni. So their day didn't end with us.
Goodness.
Judge, if I
Begin
may,
with us either.
Judge, if I may, though the Red Cross is certainly worthy of a great deal of praise, all of our praise and thanks, this isn't on the agenda.
Yeah, I meant to get it in
I put it
between.
under public comment.
Yeah.
It's still not noticed is the
Yeah.
issue. So let's, if we could wrap it up.
Sure.
Well, thank
All
you
right.
for having us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, fellas. Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Reed, I think they want to get a picture. If somebody uses his phone. Matthew, can you take
Hey, Jay. No poking that.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm just taking a bunch. There you go.
All right. Thank y'all. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. You betcha. Thank you.
Thank you, Fernando. Nice meeting you.
Appreciate it. Yes,
Your Honor.
sir. You bet.
Thank you. Yes.
All right.
For number 2.
Moving right along. Number 8.
Bring up taxes.
Number 8.2. From Richard Brown over at the tax assessor collector's office. There's some numbers here we need to, well, it looks like we have some overpay refunds. I'm not going to read all of them, but I will make one correction. Instead of on the very first item, 77,196, it should be 69,544.19. Is that
Yes,
correct?
that's
Okay.
right. I was going to bring that out. 2 of them didn't make the agenda,
69,544.19.
and they'll be at the next meeting. They
Okay.
didn't make the notice time, so we'll carry those over. And like I,
Which 2?
yes, I have them on. You have the master list. It's on.
Just give me the account number.
Yeah, I got it right here. Okay, 167094 for 316138, and 23415 for 449043. And the rest of them are on that detailed report, but they'll be on the next agenda.
Okay.
Yes, and these are all, just like the code requires, anything in excess of 2,500 has to be approved and presented to the Commissioners Court. And again, with the new statute that these people don't have to apply for an application, they all come instantly, so it's not drug out. Before, we would just kind of spread them out. And of course, this time of year, again, people are making their annual payments. So third parties like CoreLogic's paying it, First Liberty paid it instead, and then the taxpayer paid it. So it created a refund. And and CoreLogic, as you see, is a third party.
Yeah.
They take care of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, majority of them. And really, we like seeing CoreLogic paying them. It's just like if you have a mortgage, the mortgage company
That's correct.
hires this third party to do a mass payment on it to make sure it does get paid. And then the taxpayer, they also get notice of it, but they have that fiduciary code on it. And sometimes they just pay it anyway, or, forget to pay it or whatever. So we have to give it back. We can only take it from one time. So this is not money that we're refunding that or we're entitled to. It's just excess money that created the refund. So I request that approval be made on each of these for a total. I think there's 13 altogether being approved this time for the $69,544.19.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Bruce, second from David. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Rick.
Yes, sir.
But don't sit down yet.
Now I got one more.
That's right. Number 8.3 from Mr. Brown. Consider and approve overtime hours for voter registrar department for estimated hours worked based on the hours the voter registrar's office must be open for early voting and on election day per election code 12.004. This does not include hours that may exceed the state schedule when polling locations are to remain open for voters still in line to vote. Okay, Rick?
Okay. Again, we, as a practice, our office must stay open during the early voting and day of voting, just like, the election office does. Provide support for the election process. These hours, we have part-time persons, so they don't work but 30 hours a week. So there's 20 hours of additional regular time. Then there's the overtime for working and both of them work at the same time. Some of the smaller elections may not need both of them, but on this one, it's pretty involved with all the local elections. And then the other voter registrar is basically just overtime because she's on 40-hour week regular pay. So that's in addition to their regular pay.
You're not offering comp time or comp time and stuff doesn't apply here?
I mean, it's overtime. They're working over the 40 hours.
No different than the hands at the barn when we have,
Yes, sir.
implemented weather stuff where they're out there, they have to get out there and work and we give them comp time.
No, so election workers get paid, and if you're working in the election. So again, that's something that is being presented. I can't approve it. So
These are part-time workers?
no, one is Mandy is part-time. She works 30 hours a week throughout the year. And then Heather works 40-hour work week. They're two of the staff for the voter registration year round.
I mean, I agree with Bruce though. I mean, we have to give ours comp time.
I give mine the option, so my workers can take overtime, or the problem is we accumulate so much during an election period, and we got 3 of them this year. So, we got to pay some overtime, but they do have the option of taking comp time and using it like at Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff like that.
These workers, she gets money from
Need to turn your mic on,
primary.
please.
These workers, I mean, she gets money from the state and from these local entities.
Right.
To pay for the overtime.
Yes, we do. We get some money. We get 80% of election day only
Yeah.
from the
I'm
primaries.
just saying that you have funds to.
We do have funds put away for this, but some of my staff would almost prefer to have comp time so they don't use up their vacation time. They can get a little extra time off at Christmas and New Year. And there's not much going on elections in anyway, so I don't mind that. But I mean, we do let them select comp time or overtime. So, but they accumulate a lot during the election period.
So I just wanted to clarify also, so if the employee does not work over 40, they're not going to get paid any additional pay. We're only talking about in the event that in a certain pay period that they actually go over
And the
40.
way these fall, like they'd have a holiday when they wouldn't get it, that's happened before where they actually work extra hours, but because it wasn't paid, it's a holiday, they don't fall into it, but they have to fall into that 40-hour week. But we calculated the hours based on the hours we're required to stay open. And that's how it splits out. We have the detail on it. That
Sure.
shows, actually for Mandy, it's 20 hours of straight pay and then 34 hours of overtime. And for Heather, it's the 34 hours of overtime.
I just wanted to assure Commissioners Court that we're not talking about a blank check here. This is, so the usual customary rules will apply.
And also, we have approved multiple times in the past year overtime for sheriff's deputies to transport prisoners. It's been before this court many times. So,
And we don't have.
I mean, I don't know what the policy, how it's written, or, you know, how we got there.
In the past, I mean, several years ago, we would have overtime put as a line item in our budget because we knew we were gonna have these things, but we haven't done that in, recent years.
Mhm.
It's predictable that it's gonna happen because, again, the voter registration office maintaining these same hours, they open, and Lee can help cite the hours, but it's like 7 to 7, and then Saturday and Sunday's like the 1 o'clock, and so it accumulates the exact hours that we're open.
Sounds like it's a policy thing we ought to look at.
Yeah, because Dwayne, overtime's not budgeted.
No,
That's why we do comp time.
we
And-
do some overtime. I know like the jail, we do that. That's kind of emergency situation. I know like transport officers maybe, and I know Lee does overtime for her election workers. Like I say, that's partially funded. I mean, mostly funded from money she gets from the state and so forth.
Right.
But-
The contracted people will give us money to help cover the overtime of the poll workers. But we're talking poll workers and staff and any security we need. We pay overtime for anyone who's required to work at night and beyond regular hours.
This is y'all's decision, but
It's total like
But I mean-
2286.
my only concern is, I mean, it's y'all's decision, but I mean, are we gonna start, everybody getting overtime? I mean,
That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
Well,
And
okay,
again, we can
let
make it
me-
clear to our
No,
workers
no,
what
let
they
it-
have going
That
forward.
could be, like the sheriff's department, sheriff's
Well-
deputies that normally get overtime, and if y'all start paying them overtime, that's gonna be a real constraint on the budget.
May I address this just real briefly? These hours are mandated by the state. They're mandated by law. We do have to have the polling locations open, and therefore we do have to have workers available, including people who can do translations. I have to keep someone Spanish speaking in the office that are available at all time. These are rules, and that's why we have that one set of money to help cover it. We try to keep plenty of money in there to cover any, extra pay, but they also pay for all the poll workers, so it's a huge fund. I am very picky about it. For instance, like this last weekend, the person who doesn't get paid overtime worked up here, and I had my staff spend as much time as they could at home to try to keep the numbers down. But we're mandated by law to be open, and
So
it is what it is.
So
So
do you
I'm
have,
not for- I'm
do you
not
have
for-
money in your election deal to pay his election people?
I do, but they don't assist us and help us and work with us. I don't know when they're even there, to tell you the truth. So
I'm not for it.
he has money, also Chapter 19 money he can use.
Not really, but I'm really not for it or against it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just letting y'all see
Well,
both sides.
I just hope we could determine it, 'cause with May election coming up and November election coming up, if it's the policy of the court that they will not be paying overtime, then I just need to know that going forward, and it'll be decided. Right now, it's just been a practice that we do get it, we presented this to the court for the last election, similar, and again, it could have been one that the state paid for versus, the county paid for it. And like I said, in the past, we even had a line item budget strictly recognizing these hours, and that was the only overtime. I think we had like $2,500 set aside as a line item.
And it actually was in the budget,
It was
but it's
in the
no
budget.
longer in the
Right.
budget.
We have not been able to put that in the budget or didn't put that in the budget. So it's kind of gray as far as I need to know if it's your requirement that they get comp time, we would definitely follow that. Right now, they're under the impression that they're working, getting overtime. They're gonna work either way. If they get overtime, if this doesn't get approved today and they get offered comp time, that's what they're gonna get. Obviously,
Well, you can't pay a part-time employee comp time. Because they're not on a
right, and I
guarantee.
can't get reimbursement from Chapter 19 for part-time people.
Yeah.
It has to be temporary people. So
But there is money there to help pay for your overtime for your voter registrars, correct?
not for part-time.
No, but there is money to help pay for the
We have
overtime.
Chapter 19 funds. And, so part of this could be if we could reimburse for the full-time person, but we cannot use it for the part-time person. But,
Okay.
I mean, whatever the court's wishes, we'll follow it. It's just, I guess we haven't had this discussion before. And usually we get it a little bit before the election, but I mean, we're right in the middle of it right now.
Well, that's part of the problem too, because you're asking for money for work that's already been done, correct?
What's that?
You're asking for money for work that's already been done.
Yes, but it could easily be comp time as well, because no money is to be paid until it's approved.
Right. So what is the court's pleasure? I mean, if we're going to change horses in the middle of the river,
Well, this is
You know.
something that needs to be addressed in the budget and policy and procedures, but at this time, I'll make a motion, we go ahead and approve this.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Precedent's been set.
got a motion from Greg, second from Gerald to approve. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye. Likewise, nay.
Nay.
One nay. All right.
That's one thing. So, am I, do I have an assumption going forward, it would be, do I have to bring it up each time to get it processed, or do we just go with the comp time, or do we go with combination?
I would think after today, we probably need to look at a policy change.
Policy change and look at
Yeah.
adding it into the budget if it's anticipated.
Right.
Yeah, and again, if we can supplement with Chapter 19 on the full-time, that's
Yeah.
not a problem, because we have Chapter 19 funds.
We still owe money, chapter 19 still owes the county money.
Right, we've got that covered.
Well, we're still on purpose, I mean, we advanced some travel advance, and we're still waiting on that from chapter 19.
Okay.
We'll make sure all that's covered. We've got the 5,900 on the GIS stuff. We have 10 and we're getting 18,000 in June, so.
Okay.
Every other year you get kind of a big bump on it, but we dedicate all the Chapter 19 money, whatever we can spend it on for these types of things.
Okay. All right.
But
Well, I believe-
we'll get back before, but we definitely know before we go into the May election.
Yeah. All right. Okay. That motion does pass. Thank you, gentlemen. Moving on right along, 8-4 from over the fire marshal's office, Nathan Green, review and consider authorizing fireworks sales in unincorporated areas of the Liberty County, Texas, beginning February 25th, 2026 through midnight on March 2nd, 2026. Special sales period requires Commissioners Court approval for the celebration of Texas Independence Day.
Yes, sir.
Pretty self-explanatory, folks. What do y'all want to do on this one?
This is one of the special seasons that has to have Commissioners Court approval.
Right.
And we still have the exception of no sticks and fins, right?
Right.
That's only in a burn ban,
Oh,
but
oh,
That-
are we
that's-
not?
no, we're not in a burn ban. We are not
Not
in
yet.
the drought.
So we got sticks and fins on this one? No. Okay.
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion from Greg, second from Bruce to approve. Is there any further discussion?
Yes, sir. There's only one vendor, one fireworks vendor that has requested the sales season, but I don't know that I've seen a fireworks retail sales permit for that vendor at this point. So at this point, there will not be any sales, but the question was asked, so it was put on the agenda in case they run down today, they can get a permit up until business, close of business today and start selling at midnight through midnight Monday night.
Right. Okay. Hearing no further discussion, call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 8.5 from Ms. Soliday. Consider and approve draw request number 13 for Liberty County General Land Office Grant. It's number 24-065-014-E171 for the MIT mod in the amount of $339,600. All backup is attached in the packet for your review. Melinda, if you have anything else to add to it, please do.
No, sir. I have to get the draw request approved first. And then the next item will be to actually pay the invoice. But this is everything that we've got to this point on the MIT mod.
Right.
I think he's got the diagrams and everything in there to let you know where he's come across on all this. Yeah, all the drainage and everything. So it's moving along. You'll actually see the LJA crews out on the roads doing their thing. So
Yeah. And once
I'm
again,
anxious for
this
this to be finished.
When will it be available for us to actually look
I
at?
think when William was here last time, I think he said,
Yeah, so the final like criteria,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit on the drainage side, but we're actively working through that process and trying to hit milestones that we can get to you guys prior to this thing being over at the end. So
right.
we're trying to prioritize, the elements we need to bring to the core to address as we can.
Right.
His final report will not be here probably a year.
Yeah, at least a year.
I believe he said that we would have a usable model by July or something.
Right,
If we
right.
had a specific item we wanted to go look at.
Exactly.
And we already have several models in the area that it requests we are providing.
good.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right. Motion from Bruce. Second from David. And again, this is a General Land Office grant. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 8.6 from Ms. Soliday, consider and approve payment request from LJA Engineering for the Liberty County GLO grant number 24-065-014-E171. MIT mod, the invoice number is 202559826 dated 1/16/26 in the amount of $339,600. Again, copies of the invoice are attached in your packet for review. And this is just a portion of the others. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Just passing through.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we have to get approval to do the draw request.
Right.
And then we have to
got you.
pay the invoice.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from David, second from Bruce. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion
Thank you.
does carry. Thank you so
My
much.
book was nice and light.
Yeah.
Number 8.7 from from Mr. Poston, Ms. McCarty over there in the County Attorney's Office. Consider and approve an interlocal agreement between Liberty County and ESD number 7 for fire protection services. Y'all want to add anything to it? Matthew?
Nope, this is the third of 4 ESD contracts. I believe we're still waiting on number 3, but I am in contact with them and I'm sure it'll be along shortly.
Yes, sir.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from Bruce. Second from David. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 8.8 from Ms. Harris over in the Treasurer's Office. Consider and approve the 2026 ACA Reporting and Tracking Service, ARTS, Renewal Confirmation Program Agreement. Kim?
Yes, sir. I'm asking the court to approve this renewal agreement. It's a no-cost renewal with the Texas Association of Counties Health and Employee Benefits Board. The purpose of this agreement is for them to provide us with the 1095C forms that are required by the Affordable Care Act. They've been doing that for us since we started with
Yeah,
TAC.
yeah.
And again, it's at no cost. For the 2025 reporting year, the forms are not required to be sent out to the employees. We will provide those to employees if they ask for those. So that information will be coming out this week from my office. So if anybody actually needs their form, they can ask us for it. But to avoid extra costs, the court determined and voted to not send those forms out.
Right.
So that's just an added note to it. But this is the renewal form for the 2026 reporting year. So that TAC can do those forms.
So is that for a taxable benefit to the employee and they have to request it? Is that, I don't know what that form is.
The form is called the employer provided health insurance and coverage. So if it's provided to the employees.
Oh,
so
it's
that
just
they
a statement.
Are told that they
Okay.
have been offered the coverage and.
I got you.
So it's just a statement.
But we have a sign off,
Attach it to your-
but we have a sign off when we go through the enrollment period, correct? Each employee signs that they've been offered insurance and they either accept it or they do not.
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Yes. So, anyway, it's just a renewal. It has to be back to TAC before March 31st.
Yes, ma'am. All right, what say the court? David,
Second.
with a motion, and Gerald, was that you the second?
Yep.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. Motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. 8-9 from Mr. Poston and Ms. McCarty. Consider and approve the memorandum of understanding between Liberty County Sheriff's Office, San Jacinto County Sheriff's Office, and Splendora Police Department. The purpose of assisting in combined agency highway interdiction efforts within the participating jurisdictions. That sounds like a good plan. Y'all want to add anything to it?
No, Your Honor. This item is exactly what it says it is. This came to my office through the sheriff's office, and all of these agencies will be assisting one another in law enforcement efforts.
Excellent.
So it's similar to an interlocal agreement. then?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's just an official way of allowing law enforcement agencies to
work
help
together.
one another. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
All right, got a motion from David, second from Bruce. Further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 8-10, Mr. Post and Ms. McCarty, consider and formally accept PID petition. That's calling for the creation of a new public improvement district by Sterling Traditions, LLC, located in Liberty County, Texas, as previously stated in the agreement regarding subdivision rules and regulations for development and creation of a public improvement district, executed by both Sterling Traditions, LLC, and Liberty County pursuant to Chapter 372 of the Texas Local Government Code. Okay, here's those acronyms again. You know, we got TERS, we got PIDs, we got MMDs, we got MUDs, there's a whole slew of them out there, but it's another tool for developers in the toolbox.
Certainly. And if the court recalls, probably almost if not a year ago, the court approved a development agreement with Sterling Traditions. And in that development agreement, you approved the creation of a public improvement district. And if you recall, public improvement districts are a way that the county works with the developer, and certain fees for like fire services, law enforcement services, things that can really benefit the county can be assessed on the property owner and collected oftentimes through a mortgage. And you know, they can also pay it out directly, but it can be financed over a period of time. And once it's paid by the property owner, you're done. Okay.
Mhm.
And certain fees will come directly to the county. But this agreement or a PID allows for the tax assessor to collect these PID fees on behalf of the developer. And then those fees are reimbursed to the developer. It's at no cost to the county. But as you're aware, I know we've done a couple of other PIDs together in the past. There's a very specific process to the creation and approval of a PID within the county. The first had to be notice to the court that there was an intention to create a PID. And the second step is accepting a petition. We have Scott Bean here with he's worked on numerous projects with the county. I think all of the PIDs in the county he has had his hands in, to be honest with you. To answer any questions you might have about the petition, both Matthew and myself have looked at the petition. We find it acceptable for approval, but any questions you may have, you can ask myself or Scott or Matthew.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? Brother Rick.
Yes, sir. And presently, we are collecting one PID, the West Point subdivision over in Dayton. It's my recall that we do have a contract with them, and the county did agree to collect that for them, and we do assess them a 32-cent per account fee. But I wasn't hearing if that's part of our agreement already or if that's in addition to that. Because that's the one that we have done so far.
Mm-hmm.
We put a line on our statement, we send it to them, we refund it just like any other entity. So we treat them under the same thing. We get a contract with them, the same thing that we do with all our other entities. So I'm just asking for some clarification on that, if we're actually going to be doing the same thing or if this development agreement precedes it.
No, the county will be collecting for this one. In the petition, it says that the 32 cents in the actual terms of the collection agreement will have to come later in an agreement.
Yes,
Okay.
the original
Yeah.
development agreement just said it was their intention to create a public improvement district
Okay.
and laid out some of the fees that they would be collecting.
Still
But
need
we
to go
will,
through our same
yes,
process.
that will be one of the steps to come.
And I assume it would start in 26.
Mm,
5 is already.
When did they
yeah.
start development? Is it 26 or
Probably
27?
27.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
around 26.
Yes.
Or keep up
Yeah.
with it.
Okay.
25 is-
All righty.
So the total is like $20 million, right? So what specifically is the county's benefit to this?
Well,
It's the infrastructure in the subdivision?
Just for clarification, this is an existing MUD, MUD 13, and the developer's intention and what the development agreement says is that they plan to layer a pit on top of the MUD just to do park facilities and amenities and things of that nature. I know in the first pit we did, there's an extra collection for police, fire, and EMS. We haven't really gotten to that point yet, and I'm not sure if it was in the development agreement.
it is. It's in the development agreement. Those are things that the county insisted upon. Specific terms will come after this portion. This is a particular step that needs to happen before creation of the PID,
Okay.
before we can work out those terms. But it is the intention of Sterling Traditions, as per the development agreement, that we do collect for some infrastructure, including fire services and law enforcement services.
Right, and the makeup of the 20 million will come during the PID creation and this development of the service and assessment plan, like we did with Jim and I, that I worked on with y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, the
Formal step.
one thing to remember, it's for the people that live in that particular district only. It's not
Correct.
anybody on the outside.
Great point.
So the
Yes.
folks that live there are the ones that pay for this.
They pay the fee.
Yeah.
Correct.
And so enjoy the benefit.
And I will also add that we'll be back in about a month, because the next step is to have a public hearing on this petition
Mhm.
after notice is provided to the public. And then we'll ask for you to approve the next step in the process.
All right.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion from Bruce. Second from Greg to approve. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. You got a little bit?
I got one thing.
Okay.
I got one thing, because we say there's, it's a pass-through cost. We collect the money and then we send it back. There is a cost to the county, and Ricky brought that up. there's administrative cost in this money coming in, being collected, and then being disseminated back to the right organization. So I really think we need to look into that, what that cost should be, so that it's a pass through or pass back to the developer, but it does come at a cost to the county. And, it could, as these things grow, and I expect it to grow, it's going to cause us to add more infrastructure, more positions to handle everything coming in and going back out in all the different departments. So I think we need to look at that there should be something that the county receives to handle these costs.
You're absolutely right. And so once we go through the formal steps, what will happen is I'll work closely with the folks at Sterling Traditions. There will need to be some sort of separate agreement between the tax office and the developer.
Thank you.
And that's something that would be included in that.
Good.
Okay. Thank you very much.
One thing to address, Commissioners, just for every entity we charge 32-cent charge each year. They pay that every year for the number of contracts that we have. We have 10,000 tax statements that go out on it, and it's 32 cents times that. So that does grow with the volume on it. And by technically, we can only charge in addition what adding that one line does to our tax bill as far as administrative on that. I think more what you're addressing is like returns, 381s, these follow-up things. There's some administrative costs for administering, but actually for just putting them on the bill and collecting them, that 32 cents is what the court has deemed as the additional cost that we add. We can't add 57 cent postage because we're already mailing, the county's already paying that. It's just another line item that's going to be on the bill. But I think it's two different things. 32 cents takes care of every entity that we collect for, in addition to the county, annually pays that 32 cents. The additional cost, I think you're looking at, are more of administration of keeping up with deadlines.
Yeah, absolutely. I see this as it's just a growing
and I do agree
area.
That does need to be addressed administratively. Judge and I have talked about that. As we grow more and more, it just puts more things that need to be done. In timely as well.
Those are just conversations that need to be had with the developer.
Sure. Okay. All right. So we have a motion and a second to accept. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. All right. Item number 11, I'm going to ask if we jump past it. That will be an executive session item.
Judge,
Yes, ma'am.
if I may, any presentation by Trinity River Solar needs to happen in open court.
Right.
I don't believe that in looking at the executive session item, I don't believe there's adequate notice for that. So we would have to conduct everything in open session today.
All right. So we won't have an executive session today, y'all. Hallelujah. Okay. So number 11, let's have a chat about it here in a minute. It's a discussion of potential action shall occur pursuant to Chapter 381 of the Texas Local Government Code, Chapter 312 of the Texas Tax Code, and other authority regarding the following matters. A presentation by Trinity River Solar Company regarding its proposed solar energy electricity generating plant project to be located on certain real property, totaling approximately 2,400 acres, more or less, and located in eastern Liberty County, near Texas, near U.S. Highway 90 and FM 1009. Therein, and 2, pending application for tax abatement regarding the project. B, consideration of approval of further negotiations, if any, by Liberty County, Texas, with said company regarding said project and application. And C, all related matters. I like that all related matters. That picks up all the spare change laying around. So, yeah. So let's discuss this. And I believe we discussed this several times in the past.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the third or fourth time
Yeah.
that we've
Yes,
discussed this.
this is not the first time you've heard from Trinity River Solar. I believe we have Mr. Peters here that represents this project. Anything he would like to add, you're welcome to ask questions.
Okay.
So, Mr. Peters.
All right. Sure you may.
I'm joined by Tiffin Wong with Light Source, who you've all met before when we did the workshop here recently. Once again, just to introduce myself, I'm Garrett Peters. I'm a tax consultant with Katie Andrews, who's worked on this project. Y'all have seen this presentation before.
Mhm.
Will you write it down for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Spell it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. That's your name.
Here, you got a pen. Thank you.
So like I said, I'm Garrett Peters. I'm a tax consultant for Katie Andrews. It's been engaged by Light Source BC to assist on this project. And as the attorney shared this, and Commissioner Karbowski, this is not our first time here, certainly. So we appreciate y'all's time and consideration once again. I will get signed in here in a moment, but Tiffin can give kind of an overview of the project and the development, and we can recap the proposal that we've talked about previously and talk about the property tax impacts. Oh, thank you.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Tiffin Wong with Light Source BP, representing Trinity River Solar. We've had this project for several years now, and we're fairly advanced in the project development. We're at the point now where we are picking at our engineering and designing to accommodate crossings that are present at the site. We're also at the point of trying to market the project to potential power purchasers. And in order to do that, we need to be at a market rate that is acceptable. Part of that is implementing a tax abatement into the pricing so that the first portion of the project is at a lower taxation rate so that we can be pricing at a good price. And then later on, the taxation increases to a normal rate. This is a vital part of whether or not this project is able to move forward. As we all know, energy prices fluctuate, and we'd like to be able to provide a stable and reliable electricity source for folks to be able to access. What we're asking for is an abatement of, I believe, 10 years.
That's five.
Five,
We
great.
asked for 10 originally.
Yes, our normal tax abatements with other counties in Texas is 10, and I believe that through this conversation, we agreed that 5 years is an appropriate amount for your county and for our project to be able to move forward. And in this, we're also including a lump sum cash payment as part of the agreement to accommodate some of the things that still need to be done within the county in those years.
Yeah, so following on our workshop that I think we had in late 2025, there was some conversation about the current amount of taxes this land is paying versus what it would pay, in the future once this project is constructed, even if tax abatements are applied. So just to the county alone, over the last 35 years, this 2,400 acres has paid less than $65,000 in property taxes because it's all ag. We project, actually we know, once this project is constructed over the next 35 years, that would be $7.9 million for the county, even with an abatement. The school district is much more significant. The ISD out there has received less than $100,000 over the last 35 years from this land. Over the next 35 years, they will receive more than $20 million. So it's a massive needle mover. So where we left off was, I believe the tax assessor collector was kind of going to look over some of the numbers that we presented in the workshop last year, kind of verify that what we were saying, see, and kind of see what the next steps were. So we once again submitted the tax abatement application after the first of the year to the commissioner's court, and we're happy to be here to answer any questions or discuss further.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd like to ask my questions to our attorneys. Doesn't the state regulate the depreciation on these solar farms? And so there's not a lot of wiggle room for this court, right?
That's correct. Yeah, I think there's a depreciation schedule that is mandated by either the state or the fed.
And couldn't it also be said that this will be the third solar farm in the county? and this is probably the best deal the county will have received. In terms of tax abatement? I had that impression.
The best
that
deal that we would offer?
No, this is the best deal we would go into a contract with this abatement from the other solar forms.
Well, in my memory, I can think of the one that is south on 146, where we acquired property.
Yeah.
And so that one's kind of a unique circumstance.
Yeah.
And I do not,
like
off the top of my head.
$230,000 a year for 20 years when I was looking through what was submitted in the package. So, and I'm not sure that the others are.
We only have the one that I know of. Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Mm.
So the other one is located in Harris County, the one there on the line?
The majority of it, yeah.
Yeah, the majority of it. I don't think we
didn't do
any sort
anything
of
with that.
abatement.
Yeah,
Yeah,
over
they
by
just constructed
Hatcherville.
it.
Okay, so they just got to tear up the roads. They didn't pay.
Yeah.
All right, now I see how that works.
Okay.
Well, they're paying full freight on taxes, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
And my biggest concern is the leasing of the property instead of buying the property. I mean, it seems like y'all are walking in here on a temporary status anyway. So that really concerns me. Our other solar project that we did give an abatement to bought all the property. So we knew they was invested in it and a long-term investment. So, first time we get a hurricane come running through here, and it wipes everything out. All y'all do is throw your hands up and say, whoops, okay, we're gone.
Well,
And that's the way I'm looking at it.
Sure. It's fairly common practice for solar companies when they're leasing a lot of land, especially from one landowner, especially in this circumstance, to lease instead of buy. It's a very large purchase. Typically, companies might buy battery storage sites because it's very compact, but on a solar project, it's fairly common to lease. We do have a 40-year term on this lease. I believe it's 35 with extension options. We have a landowner that's very engaged and very supportive of the project, Mr. Henderson, and part of the benefit of leasing and purchasing is keeping his land intact. He has over 6,000 acres on his Henderson Ranch, so we're very happy to help support that legacy and land for him and that family.
And yeah, I agree that Liberty County Solar, they did purchase that land, but just speaking across Texas and the US and the projects I work on, 99% of the solar sites I work on are leased. That is not the norm. Reason being, that's a lot of risk to have on the balance sheet, right? These are not land companies, these are solar companies. And so they don't generally have land on the balance sheet.
And one more thing that I will add, because you did mention risk and hurricanes, that's part of why the tax abatement is such a vital part of us being able to move forward, is that the risk insurance cost of this project is a lot higher than other projects. And we also have, we have the backing of BP. We're a company that's standalone separately but owned by BP. So we do have those requirements of being able to stand firm on staying on site and operating as much as possible. And we're building the risk of hurricane and potential disaster into the project financials so that we can accommodate that.
Rick, do you have any positives or negatives?
Y'all determine the contributory value of the improvements at this point? What is the cost on the solar?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so it's going to be
maintenance on, not on the land, it's just on the personal property.
That's correct, yeah. So there's no abatement on the land, so the county and all the jurisdictions will receive an immediate influx from the rollback, given the change of use of the property. Additionally, that land will remain in a commercial industrial value as opposed to the ag value that it's been in the past. So none of the figures that I presented today even include the land. It is not part of the abatement. What we're talking about today is the improvements that would be placed on it, which we're estimating is $240 million.
And the depreciation that Commissioner Cord was talking about, basically, it's pretty accelerated. It goes from 91 and then 80 something, and I've done some performance on that, kind of showing what it looks like. And and then it stays consistent at 20%.
That's exactly right.
So it takes about probably 12 years for it to get down to that 20%.
Yeah, so that statute has been in the Texas property tax code for some years, and yes, it's 8% a year and floors at 20%. Yes, sir.
Matthew, do you have something?
There was made mention of risk and that this project at high risk. And then you also talked about hurricanes. Is the potential for hurricanes and disasters, is that the main risk y'all see in this project, or are there any others?
Just most of the weather-related risk.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
sure, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So we have to build into our insurance costs for impacts, but also we have to be able to warranty the equipment. So it's a very, very difficult / tricky item to accomplish. Finding a solar panel, which is called a module, that will work with a tracking system that moves, that will accommodate the high winds. In 2022, there was an industry standard change that made all solar panels within the hurricane zone a higher risk category.
I see.
So a lot of manufacturers are not willing to accept that risk. So this particular project and a lot of projects along the Texas Gulf Coast have had to really, really fine tune which modules, which solar panels will work with the tracker so they can be, risk averse and still produce as much as it needs to be.
Gotcha. So that was part of the workshop. Y'all talked about the design
And
that was in consideration.
That's a lot of the context for why this project kind of showed up and then not showed up and showed up and not showed up, is because everybody had to go back to the drawing board in 2022. So when we first started talking about this project in 2021, 2022, we went back to the drawing board again, and that's what's brought us back here now in, I guess, early 2025 when we started talking to the county.
Did they factor in the missile type projectiles that will be running with this wind?
We have to be able, so I've heard stories in some tornado prone areas where not things hitting the solar panels, but when solar panels do get dislodged from the tracking systems and get transported a mile, 2 miles away, they're so stable with the polysilicon glass coating that they can just take them up and plug them right back in. They're very durable.
What do you got, Rick?
Y'all factored in the obsolescence of it. I know in previous discussion, I was trying to see, well, during the abatement, the value's high, but then, of course, the rapid appreciation. But the concern is how obsolete they become with new technology and new. Do y'all have that factored in replacement on these things, or is it just what you get? It's kind of like until you repurpose them, you have to come in with additional cost and all those things.
Yeah, so there will be some augmentation throughout the life of the project. That's totally common, right? But there wouldn't be, just a wholesale replacement of all the panels with the newer technology. This technology probably decreases 0.5% per year, maybe less. And so you're not going to just, 5 years from now see that the entire project is worthless. Additionally, what we've built in here, and this is what's key about it being 100% abatement for 5 years in exchange for the pilots, is the county's insulated from the value for the first 5 years, whether it's up, down, or indifferent. The first time the county becomes exposed to the value times their tax rate would be in year 6 and beyond.
And technology has gone through a rapid increase in the productivity of each type of panels, but we're currently in a phase of, fine tuning. It's not the great growth that it has been the last 10 years. We're kind of not plateauing, but we're definitely slowing down in the increase in the amount that you can produce per slit per module. So we expect these panels to start, significantly decreasing around year 25, and by then we have the ability to plug and play, pull the ones out that are not producing as much, and replace them. And then, of course, with the assistance of the landowner who has been supported for a very long time, extending it and continuing on.
And this is part of about a 20,000 acre continuous acreage ranch, so it's not just the 2,400 acres obviously.
That's right, yes.
And it is located along Highway 90, but kind of meanders through different deals. So, I mean, it's strategically located where you don't really spoil the rest of the ranch type stuff. But, and it is a large working ranch.
And it's visible from satellites. It's 30 acres east of Houston. It's a significant ranch.
Yeah.
We're located near the highway and north of Rice Belt Road, so that we're able to be in a more developed area.
And it must be understood that you're also going to, or the landowners also going to graze sheep
We're
in this
working on
facility?
that. Yes, we're working on that. We are, so part of like.
Vegetation control.
Is,
Been cheap on that ranch for 50 years.
Yeah, I know.
we're one of a handful of solar companies that tries to implement what's called agrivoltaics. We kind of combine, instead of having a lawnmower come through 3 times a year, to continue the use of agriculture in the area and on our property. So we try to use sheep as much as possible in our vegetation management plans. In some areas where it's hot and humid, that's tricky because the sheep generally don't like hot and humid, they like cold and just cold in general. So we have to kind of select the right type of sheep to be able to accommodate the weather here. And we're working with the rancher on figuring out whether or not they can work with this plan. They'd like to be involved in agrivoltaics, but of course they have to submit bids just like any other grazer would. But typically, other solar plants will do mowing several times a year and things like that.
So this wouldn't change any of these ag
Well, she
exemption
corrected me
requests.
last time.
Yeah.
I said goats. She said, no,
Yeah.
it's sheep.
So the goats will chew the wires off.
Yeah.
The ag exemption is
Gone.
gone. Get the
Okay.
previous rollback, so that's direct money that's coming back in, plus
Okay.
you're not getting the ag, you get the reduction. So as far as, are we gonna get more money? Absolutely. It's never a question when you go from ag to these projects, are you gonna get more money? That's an easy answer. The question is, do you wanna be, allowing solar farms to come in and operate? And to me, that's a property right of the individual landowner. They're just asking us to abate the taxes, but in lieu of that, they're paying you a guaranteed pilot payment, which is more than you would get even under commercial, commercial valuation.
Yep.
The real winner will be Devers ISD in this
Yes, and again,
this development.
the schools, that's the only thing they have to participate in a JEDI, instead of 313 use.
In some cases, because of the history of this ranch, the lease deal, the owners will be inclined to make sure that it's functional and operating correctly
They're gonna make sure it doesn't.
and collecting their lease payment.
They have other animals out there called mule heads that are working like this,
Yeah.
They do have energy production going on. And even years back, they dedicated some land with BP to actually do growing grass through, to do another form of energy. So they've been very, I'm gonna say, modernistic and futuristic of trying to find alternative energy sources, and I think that kind of contributes to what they're looking at.
So Richard, on a tax collection basis, you're saying that this abatement is a lot better than most, and it will definitely immediately start generating taxes for the county and for the school district out there.
2,400 acres will get away from ag. That means you're gonna get your rollback, so that's immediate income. And I don't have the pilot, what are the pilot payments?
Well, that's what's unique. If we get an abatement and we don't even start construction, the county still comes out $75,000 ahead.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty rich deal,
That's the
as you
check.
said.
That's the check.
So I mean, it's not a matter of, is it good for the county from a financial standpoint? To me, like any of these projects, they go from ag or hunting to commercial.
Yeah.
There's an uptick in the amount of revenue that you're taking in. Just like the solar farm, even though we've done some abatements on it, all of that land now is generating more, it's $1.2 million tax revenue, whereas before it was just getting ag value on it. So all of these things enhance the income. I guess the question is
how many solar farms, do you want to have? And again, that's not even your decision probably, because that's managing, do you want to abate the taxes? And you're going to get paid for that. That's kind of how I see it from a collection standpoint.
Mhm. All right. So, any more questions or concerns? What say the court?
I'm looking at Bruce.
And these are, it's easier to administer,
Yeah.
from my standpoint.
In the 5 years is good. I don't,
And all that stuff, this is a lot easier.
5 years, not bad.
Well,
Yeah,
we're getting
it's,
something
I've
anyway.
listened to a
Yeah.
lot of abatements and by nature and people that know me, I'm not in favor of abatements, but this property and the way that they're working it, where we're still getting the taxation on the improved property.
Right.
And then what we're actually abating is the assets that you're putting on the property.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
You're not approving the abatement, you're just approving further negotiations, is that correct? Or is this the actual vote on the
No,
abatement?
we have not yet prepared a development
Yeah.
agreement between
Okay.
both parties, so this is just to move forward with that process.
Bruce made the motion?
No.
Gerald did it.
Gerald did.
You could, if you're inclined, approve the general terms of the abatement plus the pilot program as they've offered. And then we can draft the agreement and bring that back to y'all.
I will so move Matthew's recommendation.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a motion from Gerald, second from Greg. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye. Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. All right. Time to get busy, fellas. All right. Moving right along, number 812 from Mr. C, well, from Stephanie. Consider and approve a correction to the Commissioners Court records for February the 10th, 2026 to reflect payment of invoice number 2018 from DRG Architects LLC in the amount of $134,400, not $134,000, for architectural and engineering services for the development of the new Liberty County Jail, RFQ number 2512. This is the second payment towards the contracted amount of $8,960,000 for basic services, leaving $8,713,600 to be paid. Pretty self-explanatory there. Stephanie, anything else we need to add to it?
No, sir, we just wanted to be completely right and transparent.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion from Bruce, second from David. We like transparent. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 813, Stephanie, consider and approve revised payment application number 16 from White Construction, previously approved in the amount of $14,355.82. Now revised payment amount reflects $15,111.38. That's for the Northwest Annex project.
Yes, sir. These are ARPA funds, and so again, we want to be correct and dot our i's and cross our t's.
That's true. They are ARPA funds. Thank
What
you.
is the reasoning for the increase?
Well, we brought it to you. The first step in getting these payment applications paid is to have you approve them, and then the auditor gets them with a request for payment, and they do their construction accounting analysis, I believe, and they discovered some items that need to be changed.
Is this the final payment?
No, sir.
And I do realize this is ARPA money, but we are still controlling and are responsible for it.
Mhm.
So
Unfortunately, I don't know what was wrong. I'm not in accounting. Just
Wayne, did you know what was pointed out in there? I mean, we're not talking about a whole lot of money, but I mean, it's, it's
In the backup, they submitted with the revised payment application was the paperwork that Natalie sent with the corrected amounts as it should be. You'll see it in your packet. It looks like the front page, but this page has red
Yeah.
writing on it. And those were her notes, and that's what they changed it to.
But regardless, we owe this money, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, that's correct.
All right.
Mhm.
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Motion from Bruce. Second from David. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 814 from Stephanie. Let's see. Consider and approve as surplus the items listed for discount on the attached estimate number 2025-611 from Conroe Business Furniture Incorporated, and further approve the items to be taken as a trade-in in the amount of $650 towards the purchase price of furniture for the sheriff's office at the Northwest Annex. Pretty self-explanatory. So we're going to trade some old stuff in, we're going to buy some new stuff, and there's the price.
And what's this gonna do? This is gonna save my department from going over there and cleaning all of that stuff up. They're gonna do it for us. So
Well,
it's like,
there are some, so this does help us greatly from having to hold items there and have an auction, and that takes a long drawn out time, a lot of soft
Yeah.
costs involved for our office and maintenance.
and AJ can have his building back.
Yes. So they walked, Joe from Conroe Business Furniture walked around with me in the Hartsell building, and there were some items he could take and really put work in to clean them up, put them together, and resell them at his furniture company. It just so happened I've been working with him for the sheriff's office Northwest Annex furniture. So it was to trade something in is a lot easier than going to auction. And honestly, in auction, I believe some of these things wouldn't even sell.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from David, second from Bruce to approve. Any further discussion? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, right?
Yeah, we got the motion.
Okay. Hearing no further discussion, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 815 from Stephanie, discuss and consider declaring surplus items remaining in the Hartel Supply Building be considered salvage as they are damaged beyond use. That's a bunch of old cots and things like that. Yeah.
I don't remember seeing any cots. There are some items that
There
were.
is a lot of cots in there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There were some items when I looked through, him and I walked through together, Joe from Conroe Business Furniture. And to be quite honest, if he didn't want to take it and repair it and clean it up so that he could sell it, nobody would. I mean, the county has seen, their offices have seen it. Nobody wants to take it and do the work that needs to be done. A lot of it's molded and mildewed, and some of it's got water damage to where the particle board is coming apart at the ends that hold the tables up. So
Yeah.
it's all, what he doesn't want is definitely junk.
So
Which
as
we check.
Paul Harvey used to say, and this is the rest of the story, because now we still have to clean up what's left. So,
No, yeah, if you consider it salvage, it'll be able to be taken out and thrown away. That's correct.
So was it the storage where we had it, where it sustained the water damage, or?
yes, most of it was. It was from the high humidity, mold and stuff in there, since it's not a climate control room.
Okay.
It was just built for disasters and bringing in trucks and
Okay.
Short term.
So we utilized it for something else, and then it wound up,
which most of the furniture was used, and
I got you.
And typically it wouldn't have a whole storage building like that. However, I believe we did get a lot of stuff donated at one time.
Yes.
And so it's just
Okay.
kind of become a mess pile that needs to
Yeah.
something
Now
to
we
be done. with it.
address it. It's okay.
All right. So what say the court?
make a motion.
I'll second it.
Motion from Bruce, second from Gerald. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 816 from Stephanie, consider and approve the proposal for the West Wing Fire System upgrade from Gordian with FH Paskin, through Sourcewell, QZIQC, I'm glad that's not a reading test. Consider TX-R2GC-052124 FHP. That's a long one for the current Liberty County Jail. So this is the fire system upgrade. Mike, y'all got anything to say about it? If y'all
I
wanna-
do want to note for Lee also on we did get this backup item late because they were under the gun to get us a quote.
Right.
There's a lot of pressure on them. The amount is $182,799.35.
182,799.32.
35.
35.
Yeah, so this cost covers actually repairing all of the fire alarm systems on the west wing of the jail and also fixing everything on the east wing jail. So this is a fully comprehensive, get your fire alarm system up and running and all in. And then it also actually includes the two doors that go to the control room that's in the center of the jail. So those will be replaced. And so
Okay.
basically the motors and the housing system above are shot, so those need
Over it
to.
with a stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all inclusive in that.
There's a lot of cabling that's ran above ceiling, it's not in conduit, so we'll put everything in conduit.
Yeah.
Per code.
Okay.
Bunch of troubles on the panels, all that
Yeah,
will be
there's
done.
over 100 or so issues on the panel, so all of that's gonna get repaired and.
I'm glad to hear that. We get spanked on that pretty regular, Sheriff. Yeah.
And this is doing something a little differently, not using Simmons like for all the fire alarm stuff like we have in the past. Their reputation for service and quality
Oh, yeah.
is declining. So we have somebody kind of over it now who will stay on top of things and make sure things are done the way they're supposed to be done.
We've been dealing with Siemens on a lot of other projects, and it's not just here, we have problems with them across the board everywhere. we work. So
Yeah.
just dealing with them and pushing their buttons and making things happen.
It would have been very difficult for us and the jail to manage on our own. So this is why we have that big
It's a
passion.
full-time job trying to do it.
Imagine that.
And this,
Yeah.
this cost, Dwayne, is encumbered in the current budget. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion from Gerald. Second from Greg. One quick question for further discussion. Andy, are you going to be inspecting this or is the city going to be inspecting this?
Probably both. I just had a question. Who's the new fire alarm contractor going to be if it's not Siemens?
It is Siemens.
So you already-
But we're gonna be managing Siemens and making sure it gets done properly.
It's their system.
Yeah,
so
It's kind of proprietary.
So it's going to stay proprietary?
Sorry?
It's going to stay a proprietary system through Siemens?
Yes.
They're just the construction managers.
It would be more expensive to switch it from.
Well, no,
Siemens at
I
this
understand
point,
that. It's
so-
just, there's a way to get away from that down the road if we need to, so.
Get a new panel.
No, state law allows for you to have it taken out of proprietary status.
Right,
So if we need to look at that, we can.
yes.
Yeah, you say new panel, we don't want to scare the sheriff any more than he already has been. Okay. So I got a motion from Gerald, second from Greg to approve. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye. Likewise, nays. That motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank y'all. Number 817 from Stephanie, consider and approve the purchase of weapons and holsters for $152,093.66 from Sentinel Supply utilizing Smart Buy contract number 680-A2 for Liberty County Law Enforcement. Stephanie?
This was given to us by the auditor's office. They've been doing a lot of work with the budgeting for these guns and weapons. Duty gear.
They passed a law in the previous legislative session that government's got to provide the weapons, and there'll be some more for non-lethal weapons and bulletproof vest. It's state law. This money was put into the budget, and as per informal conversations with the commissioners, the sheriff's department is the largest law enforcement agency, and And instead of buying 55 different types of guns, we decided we're gonna buy one gun. It's gonna be the official Liberty County issued weapon. Some officers, we've talked with Catherine, if some officers don't want to carry this weapon, it's a Sig Sauer. They can sign a form and opt out of it and carry their own weapon.
What caliber is it?
It's 9mm Sig Sauer. Sheriff could tell you all more about it too.
Not familiar with
It's
that.
on, the backup is on the quote. It tells you exactly what it is. And there, I believe there's a duty holster involved because if you give them a weapon, you have to give them a holster to hold it.
And I think this is the official weapon of the Department of Public Safety is what
Yeah.
they use.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from Bruce. Second from David. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Sheriff, you still carrying old 1911, right? Oh,
Watch it. I just wish they had.
I know.
There's more than one out there.
Yeah. Number 818 from Stephanie, consider and approve the purchase of weapons for $16,119 from ProForce Law Enforcement utilizing buy board contract number 698-23.
And this is the same gun. It's just got different optics on it.
Okay.
So it's the same. It's a Sig Sauer.
Yeah.
9mm.
Okay.
And this quote was provided also by the auditor's office to us, and we got a call yesterday from Natalie explaining the first quote from ProForce needed to be pulled, and the quote she got a new quote from Sentinel Supply is what we need to present. Now, Harold and I discussed this, and we said we could just table it, but if y'all are okay with just changing the wording on the agenda without the quote backed up, the price difference is a few $100s.
I think table it.
Yeah, I think it's best to table and bring it back.
Yes.
Make a motion to table.
The second one.
The second quote.
Is the
Yeah,
sec-
the
is
second
it-
quote.
The second quote,
What item are you talking about table?
The second.
18.
18.
And that's for the 27 quantity. So I'm not sure, but I'm assuming that's for the constable's guns.
No, they're all the same gun. Some of them just have different optics.
Oh, I see. So this one was for 27 quantity, and the agenda item previously was for 136 quantity.
All right.
So we'll table this last item, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
We'll bring it back.
yeah, we'll bring it back next
Yeah,
court.
Next court.
With the correct language. That's the only issue.
Sounds good.
All right, got a motion from Bruce, second from David to table. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. Now, we don't have an executive session. So Bruce
Motion
or
to
David,
adjourn.
Judge, can I ask one quick question? real
Yes,
quick? Maybe Mr. Harold might know or Sheriff might know. On item number 17, the 130 guns or weapons on the first quote, is that to include some of the constable's offices? Or is it just the SO?
No, it's
No, it's county.
It's countywide.
Countywide.
Natalie went through and everybody that wants the gun, we're buying the guns.
So the
It's for
20,
it's for the bailiffs, the constables, courthouse security.
but the 27 other weapons that are on number 18 is just a different optic, you're saying?
Just different optics.
Okay.
It's the same gun.
I wonder if we'll also need to include the holsters for these two.
okay. So I got a motion from Bruce, second from David to adjourn. Any further discussion on that one? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.